Have you ever stared at your phone screen in the middle of the night, trapped in a scroll of feeds showcasing other people's instant wealth, and then whispered to yourself, "When is my turn?" We live in an era where hard work is considered foolishness, and shortcuts are worshipped as intelligence. We want to be rich today, living in luxury tomorrow, without caring what must be sacrificed behind the scenes. But let's be honest for a moment. What are you actually chasing? Wholeness and success, or just a mask to hide the fear of looking like a failure in front of others? Today, we are going to dissect the true story of a human being who traded his entire integrity for the illusion of luxury. And when that lie collapsed, what remained was no longer wealth, but the ruins of a soul that money could never buy. Take a deep breath. Let us learn from the quietest fall of all. Magnificence built upon a foundation of falsehood never lasts long. Imagine the pain when you are born with a great name and a heritage of prosperity, but slowly watch that social status crumble away, eroded by time. This is the genesis of the downfall of a young man named Charles Ponzi. Raised in the midst of an Italian noble family experiencing economic decline, the young Ponzi did not inherit his parents' mental resilience. Instead, he inherited the most dangerous poison of all, excessive pride and a bitter resentment toward reality. To Ponzi, self-worth was measured by how expensive the clothes on his back were and how loud his laughter echoed at the gambling tables. What remained of his family inheritance was spent not on survival, nor on building a future. That money was burned down to ashes for a single vain purpose, to fake the image that he was still a grand lord rolling in wealth. When the money ran out, logic died as well. In his mind, working as a laborer was a disgraceful insult to his dignity. He felt he was too noble for sweat and the dirt of hard work. And when that false pride collided with a hungry stomach, desperation took control. From petty manipulation, mounting debts, to a cross-continent flight that brought his footsteps across to the United States, directionless, without provisions, and without real remorse. And right here, that lowest point found its shape. In Montreal Prison, Canada. For the very first time, behind the cold iron bars, after being caught red-handed forging checks, this man who once worshipped luxury had to sleep on a cement floor. Pay close attention to this pattern. When you refuse to accept the honest process of life, when you feel that life owes you something simply because you want to look great, the universe will slap you the hardest way possible. Prison was not merely a physical punishment for Ponzi. It was a reflection of his soul, which had long been locked inside the prison of arrogance. Failure often fails to teach a person repentance. For those whose eyes are blinded by ambition, failure instead becomes a school to design an even bigger lie. Imagine how exhausting it is to live on the run. After getting out of prison, Ponzi tried to claw his way back up. He founded an import-export business and then tried his hand at publishing a trade magazine. The result? Total bankruptcy. Technical ignorance, lack of persistence, and a shortcut mentality made his venture crash and burn in an instant. At this exact juncture, a tiny crack appeared, and the devil whispered through logic that seemed brilliant. Ponzi discovered the International Reply Coupon, or IRC, postal coupons designed to simplify international mail replies. Due to post-war currency exchange rate fluctuations, he realized there was an arbitrage loophole. He could buy cheap postal coupons in economically devastated European countries and exchange them in the United States for stamps of much higher value on the domestic market. In theory, makes sense. In practice, Impossible to execute on a massive scale due to extraordinary logistical hurdles. Did Ponzi care about that practical logic? No. Because what he saw was no longer a healthy business system. What he saw was the fastest shortcut to rake in wealth without breaking a sweat. Instead of actually running that complex postal coupon arbitrage business, he turned his idea into an ingrained addiction, a classic pyramid scheme. He established a fictitious company and spun sweet promises that shattered reason. Give your money to me, and I will double it by 50% in just 45 days. Picture the situation. In the middle of a shaky post-war world, who wouldn't be tempted by such magical numbers? And right here, he was lulled by the peak of false glory. Millions of dollars poured heavily into his office. People queued up bringing their life savings, begging Ponzi to take their money. He was worshipped like a new financial god in Boston. Living inside a mansion, buying the most expensive cars, and surrounded by intoxicating flattery. He felt he was a genius who had successfully outsmarted the world system. Yet, he was digging his own grave with a golden shovel. No matter how big a lie is, no matter how beautifully packaged, it will never be able to trick the mathematics of the universe. The flawed logic began to smell. Media investigations exposed that to keep his promises, Ponzi would have to print hundreds of millions of postal coupons that in reality never existed in this world. And that collapse started from within, betrayal by business partners sick of the falsehoods. Pay very close attention. When you build success on top of false promises and other people's money acquired through deception, you are not building an empire. You are stacking a house of cards over a volcanic crater. A single gust of truth is enough to burn your entire life to ashes. When a palace of lies collapses, running away will never save your conscience. Imagine the final moments of Charles Ponzi's flight in Florida. A last-ditch effort to hide behind a false name ended in total failure. No more applause. No more lines of people queuing with money. What remained was only the heavy tread of law enforcement boots, cold handcuffs locking around his wrists, and a long prison sentence stripping away the remainder of his youth. Massive downfalls always demand the most expensive price. The wife who once tasted his luxury walked away, leaving his name behind. All properties were seized without a trace to pay off a fraction of the wound he left on thousands who trusted him. And what is the end of a life story that began with pride and shortcuts? He spent the rest of his life in total disgrace until he finally passed away in a charity hospital, without enough money to even fund his own funeral. The man who once held millions of dollars in his hands died as an outcast owning absolutely nothing. Now, let us place a mirror in front of our own faces. Let us dissect what truly happens inside the human soul when this trap strips everything away. First, the illusion of pride. Your ambition to look successful in the eyes of others is the number one assassin of your integrity. Ponzi fell not because he was stupid, but because he preferred to live as a magnificent lie rather than a simple truth. How many of us today are trapped in online loans, drowning in luxury lifestyle installments,
Please, I
just to impress people who don't even care about us? Pride is an addiction that poisons common sense. When you live for the validation of others, you are selling your own sovereignty. Second, the shortcut trap. Remember the unyielding law of nature. No grand achievement is born from an instant process. Quick gains without sweat and honest labor always lead to long-term disaster. When someone offers you an absurd instant payoff, realize this: you are being baited by a trap of destruction. Shortcuts do not shorten the distance to success. They shorten the span of a peaceful life. And third, the importance of honesty. Failure in life is completely natural. What destroys a person is not the failure itself, but the way they try to cover it up. Ponzi covered his bankruptcy with a lie, then covered that lie with an even bigger fraud, until he finally drowned under his own mountain of sins. When you fall, own it. Evaluate realistically. Never try to fix a mistake with a new lie, because that is the exact same as digging your own grave with your own hands. Life is a school of wisdom. Do not let the end of your life be written by regret over foolish choices driven by momentary greed. Have the courage to live authentically, because peace of mind on a simple floor is far more valuable than a king's crown encrusted with falsehood. Let us conclude this journey with an undeniable truth.
Deception is just an illusion.
True success is never born from false gold bought with the tears of others. It is not built upon a foundation of deceit, nor from the illusion of luxury that corrupts the conscience. Solid success, the kind that lets you sleep peacefully at night, can only be erected upon consistent processes, uncompromising integrity, and the courage to accept oneself as they are. Charles Ponzi left us an expensive legacy of a lesson that running as fast as you can to chase shortcuts, in the end will only bring you back to where you started, losing everything in the most profound silence. Therefore, choose the quiet yet right path. Let your sweat be honest, let your process be exhausting, because from there, your golden character is forged. Now it is your turn. Take a breath. Reflect back on your life's journey. What is the biggest turning point that woke you up from false ambitions all this time? Share your story and honesty in the comments below. We learn together here. And if you want to keep weaving life's wisdom and recognizing the exact same mental traps, click the video on your screen right now. I am the mentor.
Every ending is
See you on the next journey of reflection.
The true
Keep breathing with awareness and keep walking in truth.